Welcome to WTVP Now, the show that keeps you connected with what's happening right here at WTVP, your public broadcasting station. I'm Jenn Gordon.
And I'm Audrey Kamm. On this episode, we'll talk about the station's future following the very successful We Believe in WTVP campaign. You'll also get the inside scoop on upcoming national and local shows that you won't want to miss.
And last but not least, we'll talk about some really fun station events coming up and let you know how you can get involved. So, Audrey, before we get to all of the good stuff that we get to talk about in this episode, let's talk about Audrey Kamm first, because you're still relatively new here at the station.
I am, yes. So it's been about 2 months here at the station.
Has gone by so fast.
So fast, and it's been wonderful. It's been a wonderful team to be a part of.
And in case people don't recall, you are our new Chief Development Officer. Can you kind of explain a little bit what that means?
Yes, so I am basically in charge of all of our fundraising efforts, our community engagement efforts, and our event efforts.
So, which I just so love that we have you in this role. And I know everyone, all of our viewers and our members are really going to get to enjoy getting to know you. Can you tell them a little bit about your background, particularly, are you from the area and all of those things?
Sure, yes. I am from the area, born and raised here, and I love this area. It's home. It's where my husband and I have chosen to raise our family, and I just love being involved in an organization that is so deeply rooted in our community, and that's why I'm so excited to be here and a part of this team.
Fantastic. And you have a lot of experience with non-for-profits, with community groups, and also with fundraising. Why did you want to join Team WTVP?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I've had many different wonderful experiences in our community between nonprofit organizations, working for them and also volunteering for them. And really, I think that you have cast an amazing vision for where you're taking the station. You know, it's very important to work for an organization where you believe in the vision of where it's going. And so that combined with just all the different organizations that I've been a part of, it kind of just is this wonderful community asset that I am so proud to now work for. I've worked for many wonderful places, but I'm excited for where this organization is going and the legacy that it's had in our community and hopefully the legacy that it will continue to leave. And I thought if I could take some of my professional skills and work towards helping that come to life, that would be a really exciting thing. And so it's been fun to be a part of that.
Do you have a favorite PBS show from growing up that you used to enjoy?
Well, I will say, like I said, I have a family, and growing up, my kids, they were huge Wild Kratts watchers, and I think they know so many fun, weird facts about animals. Still now that they bring up because of that show. So that has always been a fun one for our family.
So delightful.
Yeah.
So delightful. Well, we have a lot of good news to talk about today, and one of those pieces revolves around the We Believe in WTVP campaign. Can you, let's just talk a little bit about the wins that we've had here.
So many wins.
Yeah.
I mean, I am, like I said, I haven't been here that long, but I'm just blown away by some of these numbers. Over the last 5 months, 1,500 new donors.
It's incredible.
41 new Klystron donors. That's our $1,000 major giving level.
Amazing.
And then many of our current regular donors upping their giving to become those Klystron donors. And so that is huge, coming from nonprofit and fundraising. These are huge, wonderful wins. And just to cap that all off, the whole purpose of the We Believe campaign was to get to fill that $1 million bucket. And so with the help of that $500,000 match, the station has raised over $1 million in just about 5 months. Because of the support of the community. And that's phenomenal.
And I'm so glad that you mentioned that time frame, because it wasn't that long ago. I mean, this was July 17th that Congress took that vote to claw back 2 years worth of federal funding. The board of directors kind of moved forward with a very, very optimistic vision that the community would meet us in this moment. And while I was positive that they would, I was blown away that it was only in a 5-month time frame.
I think we all were. But it's amazing, right?
It is amazing, yeah. And like, so you've done fundraising with other organizations. Have you ever witnessed something like this?
I mean, not quite in the same way.
Yeah.
You know, this is a wonderful philanthropic community that we live in.
It is.
That is 100%. Everyone knows this.
Yep.
But just to see it come to life in this very tangible way through this campaign is a really fun and incredible and unique thing, I think.
And it doesn't happen. People don't respond to moments like this unless they're tapped into the mission.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's one thing that I've been just so inspired and encouraged by. It's like, well, you know, people give because of the mission, and we've got, 50 plus years of working towards this mission in this community, but it's still a mission that that people are really responsive to and excited about.
Yes, clearly.
Yeah.
So that was awesome. And one thing that happened, just kind of the unique timing of this too, shortly after we met those goals, the CPB announced that it was officially dissolving.
Yep.
And so we've been receiving a lot of questions about that. And so just to clear up any confusion, let's talk a little bit about, you know, the CPB, that announcement and its impact on us.
Yes. So as everyone remembers, January 1st, we were able to make this great announcement of meeting our goal, which was huge. And then I think it was like 5 days later that the CPB formally announced that they were going to be dissolving. And it can be confusing for a lot of folks. It can stir up panic. I know my mother-in-law called my husband and said, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry your wife is going to lose her job." Not the case, not the case.
Yes.
But yeah, to kind of clear that up, I know one of the things we've been messaging with members and donors, again, is that CPB is a totally different entity than PBS. And while they both emerged at the same time, 57 years ago, they had different purposes. So we had the public broadcasting system that was designed to be getting all of these great programs, educationally driven programs, commercial-free programs out into the country free of charge. And then we had the CPB, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, that was designed to be this granting organization that the federal government would send allocated tax dollars to, and then those funds would be disseminated to stations like WTVP all across the country. So when Congress clawed back the funding for the CPB, then all of a sudden we have this entity, this non-for-profit entity, that has no funding to distribute to stations or to operate itself. So this did not come as a surprise to us at any of the public broadcasting stations in the system that the CPB was dissolving. It didn't stir up or inspire panic in anyone. When that vote happened in July, which was pretty unexpected, I think. I mean, it's not every day that like 50 years worth of funding from the federal government gets undone.
Right.
But I think when that happened, all of us were kind of like, well, there's one road that this leads to, and that's the CPB closing its doors. If they don't have money to distribute, then they don't have a purpose anymore.
Sure.
So we weren't panicked by that. What it does mean is that should the federal government ever decide that they want to fund public broadcasting in the future, they're going to have to come up with a different distribution mechanism.
Sure.
We all hope it comes back, but we're not hanging our hat on that.
Yes.
And from day one, when we kind of entered this new chapter of public broadcasting, we've been saying like, well, we believe that we can move forward and have a really strong future right here in Central Illinois with the community support. And I think we've seen that happen.
Totally, yes. And maybe just dig into that a little bit more, like the new future. So this $1 million has been rescinded, and we're not hanging our hat on that coming back. So what does that future look like, and how can donors feel good about continuing to be involved in that? Yeah,
I think the first big win is knowing that people believe in the mission, they've stepped up. We have already made it through year one effectively.
Yes.
Right, without federal funding.
Huge thing to celebrate.
Huge thing to celebrate.
We are all so, I said, we're blown away by that, right?
Right, and so I think that underscores with other members and viewers that we're not moving backwards, we're moving forward. I know oftentimes people might be concerned, like, well, I don't want to give to a sinking ship, right?
Sure, absolutely.
And so to be able to give confidence to our community that the future is bright and strong, this is, and we will continue to need community support to do this. What we addressed this year was our initial year one.
Yeah.
Without federal funding.
Yeah.
It's always historically been 30% of our budget, right? So we made it through year one. We know that gap was filled by new donations, new members, as you mentioned, new major donors, but there were also a lot of like substantial additional gifts that came in.
Yep.
So every year we're going to be looking at dynamically growing our membership.
Yes.
Dynamically growing the $100 a year members and the $200 a year members and people who are giving $10 a month to the station are sustaining members who are like at the heart of our viewership.
Yes.
We serve 17 counties though, so I really think that the best years are ahead of us. We've got an exciting road to travel, and I'm excited about next year. I'm excited about this year. I'm really excited about next year.
That's awesome. And I think I just want to underscore, you said we survived and made it through the first year. We're thriving through that first year.
Yes.
Like huge success to build off of, and I'm excited for what the future of the station holds.
Yes, it is a super, super exciting time.
So let's pivot a little bit and talk about what we have in store for the future. So let's talk about content.
Oh, my favorite topic. Favorite topic.
This is what we're all about here, right, at WTVP. So what have you been watching this month, and what can we look forward to in February?
Yeah, so January is always a really fun time for season premieres.
Fun.
A lot of what we're raising funds for at WTVP is to be a PBS station. So we pay PBS member dues, and that's how we get these incredible programs like Masterpiece and Nova and PBS Kids shows and all of those things. So in January, we had the season premiere of season 6 of All Creatures Great and Small. This is one of Masterpiece's banner shows that they're doing right now. Season 6, it's been hyper successful. They've already announced that there's going to be a season 7, so I think people can be excited about that. And it's based off of the James Herriot books. So the All Creatures Great and Small books that track James Herriot, who's a veterinarian in the Dales in England.
Fun.
Yep, so season 6 picks up at the end of World War II, and the crew has kind of gotten back together, and it's delightful. You've got shows about, veterinary practices, animals, there's like family, it's kind of comedy drama, but it's just a whole lot of love.
Fun.
Yep. And
what's
that
not to love about it?
Exactly. And it truly is like a family-friendly, cozy show. I watch it with my 11-year-olds. We were waiting for that season premiere for a long time. So very, very excited.
I love that. I love that we have so much content that families can watch together.
Yes, and like intergenerational too.
Yeah.
So because my mom will join us and we'll all watch it together.
Fun.
We also had the premiere of season 6 of Miss Scarlet, which is Masterpiece Mystery. So it's a slightly different pocket of the Masterpiece brand, and that's a really, really fun show that follows kind of like a Sherlock Holmesian detective, but she's female, Miss Eliza Scarlett. So she's carving out a path for female detectives.
Love that.
It's super entertaining and fun, and so that was a good one that we had. And then we've also been doing some really fun, dynamic local programs here that we're always excited to underscore. So January 1st, we dropped the 2nd episode of Vibe 309 with Blake Worth.
Yep.
And that show, if anyone has missed it, or you can always stream all of our shows on demand through the PBS app. So fantastic opportunity to reconnect with shows that folks have missed. But this one featured a sit down with Al Quizone, who is the student body president.
Fun and dynamic, yes.
Like an incredibly accomplished young man.
Yes.
And then there's this really fun vibe check segment that happens for one of the Bradley basketball games. Right here in Peoria. I lost my earpiece. I'm gonna fix that real quick. So that's a really, really great show. And then also this month, we also have our best of You Gotta See This episode.
Such a great show.
It's so great, and so Amy Earhart, who's the producer, she kind of combs through the past year of local stories and puts together the best of episodes. So that's a really fun one, and again, everyone can stream those on demand as they make their way through our content. And a quick plug for the PBS app. If anyone has not downloaded the PBS app yet, I mean, I love watching shows through broadcast, and I love watching shows like on the schedule, but I really love watching shows on demand.
Yes.
And that's something
Don't we all?
Right.
I mean, that's how people intake a lot of media these days, and we have a solution for that.
Yeah.
So, awesome.
Yeah. Yep, lots of fun there. So, and then let's see. I want to talk a little bit, Audrey, if I can, about like what's coming up on deck. Because there's some really exciting programs that PBS, I'm going to get my note cards right here, because this is exciting. And PBS does so much heavy lifting to make sure that we can bring our viewers exceptional programming.
Yes.
So some of the things that are coming down the pipeline for February. Nature, everyone loves nature, but there's a very wonderful nature series that's launching in February that's called Parenthood.
Fun.
And you can kind of guess what this is going to be about.
Of course.
But it took 3 years to shoot this series.
Wow.
Covered 6 continents, 23 countries. It's narrated by Sir David Attenborough, which I just love his voice. I love how he walks people through the animal kingdom. And I think it is just going to be, even if you're not someone who's inclined to watch nature programs, if you're a parent, I think you're going to really
I love that.
enjoy watching this. So that's a fun one. We also have a special 4-part docuseries that's airing in February, Black and Jewish America, an Interwoven History. So this is led by Lewis Gates Jr. Last year we got to share The Great Migration, which was also a Lewis Gates Jr. Piece that came together. And I am so excited about this. This, I think, is just going to be a dynamic piece of history telling and storytelling that's really interweaving Black American experience with Jewish American experience and talking about some of those shared struggles. And
so interesting.
Very, very interesting.
I love the depth at which many of our programs go down.
Yes.
To really bring that educational piece.
Yes. You know? And I'm always impressed by the angle and someone's taking the time to say, well, let's tell this story.
Yes.
Right. So I'm very excited about that. Now I'm a parent. You're a parent. I still have my kids are still younger.
Yes.
Your kids are a little bit older than my kids, but there's also some very exciting stuff coming via PBS Kids. So
there always is.
Always is. But we had, I think it was in September when we got to start airing Weather Hunters. That was a new PBS Kids series featuring Al Roker, who is weatherman Al Roker. Super fun kids series. My kids have watched all of the episodes. It talks about meteorology, weather patterns. It's super good. But in February, we get to start airing on February 2nd, Phoebe and Jay. Phoebe and Jay is a fantastic new series that is centering on literacy development, really for preschool, kindergarten kids. What PBS Kids is trying to address in here is the reality that 40% of kids enter into kindergarten being 1 to 3 years behind where they should be in their literacy development. That's staggering.
And literacy is so important.
Literacy is so important. And so PBS is always looking at these metrics and trying to fill the gap and trying to be parents' first partners.
Yes.
All of these good things. What's great about this show, it's a wildly different angle. It's all centered around everyday text that you see that kids come into encounter with. So PB&J is talking about like, all right, when you see a sign, learning how to read via signs. It might be when the kids are getting dressed and the tags on their clothes. Those are texts that you come into contact with every day as a young person before you start sitting down and actually reading a book.
That's so great.
Yeah, it's so super fun.
Yeah.
Phoebe and Jay are fraternal twins.
Oh, fun.
Super. So there's and they have big personalities, and like everything else with PBS Kids, it's done at such an exceptional level of storytelling and animation.
With education all at the same time.
With education at the same time.
Yeah.
So these types of shows, just to underscore for everyone, not only do we air them during our kids block in the morning on broadcast, but also if you're downloading the PBS Kids app, which is separate from the PBS app.
Another great resource.
Another great resource. Parents and kids can stream that on demand at any time.
Amazing.
So yeah, it's really amazing. And every donation that we get from our members goes to providing these services.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So when people see like at the end and supported by viewers like you, it really is like.
It really is, yes.
Like you.
And it's, we have so many different platforms and options for people. And I'm learning about new ones every day. It's great.
Right, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so those are some of the programs I'm hyper excited about. There's a lot more. I mean, we
could go on and on, right?
We have, yes. So, but for everyone, I'm really hoping they tune into those. And certainly if they haven't downloaded the app yet, take a moment, download the app, put in your zip code, and you'll be able to watch free, on demand, all of our PBS locally produced programs and programs that we are currently broadcasting.
Yes, that piece is very important that you just said, though, to put in their zip code when they jump on the app.
Yes,
so
exactly.
We want to make sure that you're catching all the local programs.
Yes, without a doubt.
Yes.
So now we have a little bit of time left. So I want to talk a little bit about some of the fun events that you are responsible for bringing to the community that are coming up on deck here.
Yes, so we, of course, have 40 Leaders Under 40, which is just around the corner, and it's celebrating our young leaders in the community, our up-and-coming leaders who are going to eventually be our senior leaders, making an impact already.
Yeah.
And that event is already well on its way to being sold out. So we're so pleased with the response on that one. But it will be available for people to watch post-event as well.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have speaking back to the PBS Kids angle, the Day of Play, coming up in May.
So fun.
So that's always a fun event to bring family out to.
Yes, it is so much fun. And there's also, I heard word of a virtual golf outing happening.
Yes, that happens in February. And it's just a wonderful fundraiser for the station.
Yeah,
So.
and I love that there's ways to get involved at big levels, but also at like any level.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Earlier today, we had some tour groups through the station.
Yes.
And that's something too. Can you speak a little bit about
that? Absolutely. If groups are interested in coming in and having a studio tour, seeing kind of the behind the scenes of what we do here, it's really remarkable what our production team does and everything that goes into producing a show here. And we would love to bring groups through, and you can just reach out to our membership department and we'd love to get them set up.
Yeah. That's a fun one.
It is fun. It's fun seeing kids in the studio. It's fun seeing people in the community engaging with our staff and with our shows and with the equipment and what we have here. So it's just fun to see their eyes light up when they see themselves on the screen.
When you think about it too, what a unique educational opportunity that is just for young people in our community to come into a television station.
Absolutely, yes.
And they're getting, I mean, this is an educational onboarding. This is like career development.
Yes, yes.
I like to think of.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
That's fantastic. I want to go back to 40 Leaders Under 40. You have worked with a lot of leaders in this community. But I want to hear kind of from your perspective, why is it important that we continue to have a platform like 40 Leaders?
Yes, I think it is so important that we have a lot of talent, homegrown or talent that has moved here to Peoria. And it is important that we showcase and highlight those individuals because we want to show it. That in turn showcases and highlights our area. And it'll make our area stronger and better for the future. And I think that's been proven over 32 years of doing this program. It's so fun to flip back into those old yearbooks that we have and just see, like, these are the change makers in Peoria now. And these are the people that are building our community. And so we want to continue that tradition for many, many years to come, that we are helping recognize those people that are going to be building our community for the future.
So if someone isn't directly attached to a 40 leader, is this something that they might still be interested in attending the event or
absolutely.
learning?
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, we're anticipating that this is going to be a sold out event. Tickets are flying. And I think it's just something that will make you feel good. It'll make you feel good about being a part of this community and seeing what these young leaders have done, and even a celebration of people who have received the award before coming back and seeing this event. I think everyone can leave feeling very positive about the impact that people are having on our community and where we're going from here.
You attended the event last year.
I did, yes.
And we kind of changed it up a little bit. So if people haven't been to a 40 Leaders event, can you give them a little inside perspective on what they're going to experience when they come?
Yeah, it's a fantastic event. It really, it feels like an awards show. Mm-hmm. It's very well produced. We use our entire WTVP staff to kind of have a hand in this, unique talents showcasing these leaders, and each get a little produced video. There's music. There's it's very well done, and I think people, like I said, will come and have just a wonderful time networking with other people in the community. But also, we get done with that in an hour's time, recognizing 40 leaders.
That's amazing.
With all these well-produced little pieces that our team has done. And so I think it's definitely something people will want to see.
Thank you so much, Audrey.
Yes.
And that does it for this episode of WTVP Now. Thank you so much for watching.
And thank you for supporting WTVP PBS.